Eric Gross here, co-founder of the Tech Academy. We created this video to describe our Python bootcamp. Python is one of the most popular programming languages in the world. For example, it is used by Google and YouTube. Python is versatile and can create a wide variety of software. On the Python bootcamp, you'll learn 5 in-demand programming languages. My co-founder, Jack Stanley, actually had the chance to interview the creator of Python, Guido van Rossum. In that interview, Mr. van Rossum relayed that he created Python because he was dissatisfied with existing programming languages and wanted to provide an elegant and pragmatic approach to programming. And believe me, he not only accomplished his goal, he created a language that tops some lists as the most used programming language. Our Python bootcamp is composed of over 10 courses that cover computer science basics, programming fundamentals, HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, Python, version control, Visual Studio, Agile and Scrum, and more. Now, I know I just said some words that most people won't understand. To put it simply, these are names of various computer languages and technologies that are very useful for software developers to have in their toolkit. The courses on this bootcamp include Computer and Technology Basics course, Overview of Software Development course, Version Control course, HTML and CSS course, Database and SQL course, JavaScript course, Visual Studio course, the Python course, Project Management course, a 2-week live project focused on Python, Job Placement course. After hearing that list, you may have some questions, such as, why so many programming languages? Shouldn't I just focus on one? And how can I learn that much data in such a short time? Focusing on only one language would be unfair to you for a couple of reasons. You would have a difficult time in learning new programming languages in the future. Though it may sound overly simple, the more languages you learn, the easier it is to pick up more, and so the reverse is true. This is why you're able to cover so many skills on this bootcamp. As you go through the courses, your ability to learn new technology speeds up. Also, you know how often technology changes. If you only learn one thing, it may be obsolete in the near future. At the end of the bootcamp, you'll find yourself skilled in picking up new technology. You will have an excellent ability to self-teach yourself. Also, because our courses build on each other and are connected, we're able to relay a tremendous amount of data in a relatively short amount of time. With all that said, it would be impossible to cover everything regarding each language. For an example, there are thousands of pages of documentation on Python. It would take years of full-time study to master Python, and by then, a newer version would have come out. The point is, we covered the basics of each language, enough to where you can perform the most routine tasks, and to the point you'll be able to pick up any additional needed skills on your own. Yes, the purpose of this bootcamp is to provide you with enough skills, but even more important than that, we want you to be able to learn and solve problems on your own. After all, we won't be there with you at your job. And so, the product of the Python bootcamp is not only a junior level developer able to perform the basic duties required of their position, it is one who is able to stay abreast of changes in technology and further educate themselves as needed. On this bootcamp, you will learn web development and computer programming. This is a thorough bootcamp, and by the end of it, you will have a well-rounded skill set. On it, you'll cover 600 study hours worth of content and tasks. It can take between 15 and 30 weeks to complete based on one's study schedule, meaning someone putting in 40 hours of study each week could finish in 15 weeks. Students who put in even more hours can expect to finish even faster, one of the many benefits of a self-paced program. If you purchase access for a specific number of weeks, but don't finish in that time, you can purchase an extension. As a graduate of the Python bootcamp, you will be a full-stack, junior-level software developer. You'll be trained in front-end, the part of a website or program the user sees and interacts with, and back-end. This refers to the database and the portions the user doesn't see, development. You will be able to create web applications or desktop applications. This bootcamp is the best fit for people interested in a career that focuses on Python development. Basically, if you're interested in working in companies that utilize Python, of which there are many, this is the bootcamp for you. I'll now provide a basic description of each one of the courses included in our bootcamp. Computer and Technology Basics course. Hundreds of simple, clear definitions written by us. Dozens of videos that cover basic terminology, internet functions, the composition of a computer, and description of its main parts, basic security, how computers work, etc. This course is vital for anyone learning coding. With a solid understanding of the fundamentals of technology, you're laying in the foundation for all future study. Without this foundation, your study can be confusing and slow. The Overview of Software Development course. This covers basic programming terms, explanation of all basic programming concepts that apply to all languages, the binary number system and algorithms, what to expect as a developer. Here's where you'll write your first code. The version control course. Version control is the tools and processes that are used to manage multiple versions of computer files as they change over time. Version control is a key part of professional software development. When you have multiple people working on the same computer program, it's important to keep track of who did what and when. And it's also important to be able to reverse changes that were made if they contain mistakes or become unnecessary. Git is a popular version control program. You'll learn how to use that program on this course. You'll also learn about GitHub, which is an online site that lets you manage programs with Git, and also lets you present a portfolio of your code. The HTML and CSS course. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the computer language used to create web pages. This lets you create the content on the page: text, images, videos, etc. CSS stands for Cascading Style Sheets. It is a technology that can control the styling for the web pages on a website. In other words, CSS helps you modify the appearance and format of the content on the web page, rather than creating the content itself. You can create your own portfolio website on this course. The JavaScript course. JavaScript is a very popular programming language. It's often used to make websites very interactive. It can also be used to create computer programs that don't necessarily run on the World Wide Web. JavaScript is one of the most versatile and popular languages, and is a key technology to learn. The database and SQL course. SQL stands for Structured Query Language. It is pronounced SQL. It's a language that can be used to monitor and operate databases. Databases are organized collections of electronic data. They are a vital part of computer programming because they allow for permanent, well-organized storage of data so it can be used later. You will learn how to design and create databases on this course, as well as how to use SQL to get the data you need into and out of databases. The Visual Studio course. Visual Studio is an integrated development environment, or IDE. That sounds complicated, but it's not. An IDE is just a computer program that helps you create computer programs. It combines several tools in one place so that you can operate more efficiently. You will learn the basics of Visual Studio, which is one of the most popular IDEs. The Python course. As I mentioned earlier, Python is one of the most popular programming languages. It is utilized by many of the top companies on Earth and is a robust programming language with many uses. It will serve you well in your career as a developer. The Project Management course. Project management is a vital part of modern software development. Creating software is a team activity, and it involves many different sections and personnel of an organization. Without an effective approach to the process, the creation and deployment of computer programs can become disorganized and expensive. On this course, you'll get an overview of the various popular approaches to project management in the technology industry. You'll also learn a bit more about Agile and Scrum, which are two very popular project management methodologies. The Live project. This is one of the most effective elements of our Bootcamp program. Here, you will do actual development work in Python that will result in practical experience you can add to your resume. You will be challenged to work as part of a team and to figure out new things we haven't taught you. That's very important because we want to prepare you as much as possible for the actual experience of working on a dev team. We try to replicate what it's like to do the actual job as much as possible. For most people, this is where all the tools they've learned come together. They gain the confidence that they can, in fact, do the job. The job placement course. The skills and techniques needed to get hired in technology are not necessarily in the skill set of our applicants. We, of course, want you to succeed in getting hired. So we created the job placement course. Here, you'll learn such things as how to do a phone interview, how to do an in-person interview, approaches to whiteboard presentations, how to write a resume, where to find jobs, and other key skills on how to land a tech job. There you have it, the Python Bootcamp. It's a major undertaking, a serious commitment, and a considerable investment, but it's worth it. Thank you for your time and good luck.